putanga o te ari ki mānawa mai, te putanga o te taura o te tauira. Kaeke rongo rupe kaeke, rangita hua hua. Tēnei te matakahi, tēnei a maunga nui ki tāmaki. Tēnei ngā tihi, tēnei ngā tapu. Tēnei au ko whakatau pōtiki, te toa tā maua. Arunga Hawaii ki te topa nei, te tiu nei, kei ngā taumata. Taumata o te reo, taumata o te mātou, taumata o te ora, ka putu ki te whaia, putu ki te ao mārama. Tuturu e rangi, tuturu e papa, tuturu whakamau ai kia tīna, hui e, taiki e. E te iwi, e ngā rau o te manu taupua e hiri mai ana, tēnā koutou. Haramai. Haramai, haramaira. Haramaira i runga te wairua whakiiti, i runga te wairua humarie. No piki, no kake, ki runga i te kaupapa, i karangahia tō tātou nei kaupapa, ko te Pākehi nei, ko TikTok ki a tātou i tēnei wā, no reira haramai koutou. Haramai, haramai. Haramai wa haina mai o koutou mate, kia mihia, kia tangihia, e tātou i te rānei. Me te mōhio hoki e whakapohara ana mātou i te kupinga o Taramainoku. Nō reira, koutou ngā mate huhu o te wā, e moi nei i te moiroa, haere whakangaroa tūra. Kauri atu ngā moana hohunu rawa te moana nui akiwa, e hora ake nei, i hoia mai ai e rātou mā o tātou tupuna. Haere, ki Hawaii ki nui, ki Hawaii ki roa, ki Hawaii ki tawhiti, ki au te moe, ki tapu te moe, ki ngū. Tō moe. Ka hoki au ki a tātou te hunga ka nohi ora tihei mauri ora ki te whai ao, ki te ao mārama. O tirei, koutou ngā kai whakahaere o TikTok tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou e kawaia mai nei e koutou tēnei kaupapa whakahirihira. Tērā works program ki runga i a tātou i tēnei wā. No reira Lloyd, koutou te whānau o TikTok tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou e karanga mai e koutou ki tēnei o ngā rahi. O tira, koutou whānui, just switching to channel 2. Thank you. It is my privilege as a descendant of Ngāti Whātua Rākei, your local ancient brand, to welcome you here, to invoke you and induct you into your cultural health and safety. What does that mean? It means we use things like the sound wave called te reo Māori, not just a language but a way of life. In this way of life, those sound waves activate for me a psychological wealth program. Incantation infuses me with this thing that underpins all of our innate characters, this thing we call mana. The mana to hear and the mana to listen to each other. And so we start off with the human conscience program called the ceremony. And here in Aotearoa, we use Māori ceremony. And while some might think that Māori is an ethnicity, I believe it is a way to be, a way to guide, a way to protect. And so we are here on the digital threshold of something magnificent for our world. It's dissolving the power of massive production houses, making all of us journalists of truth. That's the power of the program in our hands now, whānau. And we must use it wisely. Because the AI of ancestral intelligence has yet to meet up with artificial intelligence. Because it is the AI of ancient institution that will teach it. Nō reira, e te iwi, koutou ngā nations o te ao whānui. Haramai, tēnā koutou, huri noi to tātene whare, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia piri, kia tata mai, kia piri tata mai, e ngā iwi. Ki runga te whenua, ora kei e, ka uia akera, nā wei te pōwhiri. Maku e ki atu, ora kei tūpuna, ora kei whakapapa, ora kei tangata, kia ora rā. Ora kei tūpu nahi, ora kei whakapapahi, ora kei tangata, kia ora rā. Whānau, Jess and Rachel are about to lead us on our day, so please give them a big hand.
Thank you so much. That was really, really wonderful. Hello everyone. We are so thrilled to be here today for our first ever TikTok Works event in New Zealand. I feel like that needs a bit of a round of applause actually. To those of you in the room and to those of us, well, I'm not there, those of you online at the webinar, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us here today. My name's Jess Farrow and I am a client partner here at TikTok in Auckland. I'm joined with the lovely Rachel, who is a client solution manager with us here as well. And I would love to shout out also our country manager, Karsten, who is here today, as well as Louis, who is somewhere in the room, client partner in Auckland, and Lloyd, who you'll hear from later today, but Lloyd, stand up, give a wave. As well as our wonderful colleagues from Aussie, who you'll be hearing from today as well.
We're really excited to be here with you guys today and to launch our market's first ever TikTok Works performance tour. Right now, in New Zealand, TikTok reaches around half of all monthly internet users across the country. People are spending about 100 minutes upwards daily on the platform every day, which is about a feature film's worth length of time.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, right? And we're really impressed and excited about our growth here in the market. And we're also proud of how we are also ensuring safety for our users on the platform. So globally, we employ over 40,000 people to make sure that the platform is a safer place for everyone to enjoy. Locally, we've invested in around 2,000 people in APAC with people who actually have intimate knowledge of New Zealand to make sure that that platform is just safe. And we have a demonstrable track record. If we look at minor safety, in the last quarter of any of the content that was tried to be uploaded that was against our guidelines, 98% of that was removed proactively, and of that, 94% of that did not be seen by a single eyeball. So we will continue to demonstrate our trustworthiness by showing you how much this is an important aspect of our platform. Trust and safety is very important to us.
TikTok represents new opportunities for brands such as yours and your clients to tell their stories and to grow. We're an entertainment platform at heart, and we know that it can drive real meaningful impact for your brands. We've been around in the Southern Hemisphere for a little while now, and we know more about the value that TikTok can drive for your brands. Today, you'll hear all about how TikTok can drive performance impact. We're going to kick off with a keynote from a couple of our TikTok experts. First up, Jules, a product marketing manager here at TikTok. He'll be followed by Stefania from our measurement partner from our TikTok marketing science team. We'll then move into a bit of a panel discussion with Jules and Stefania. They'll also be joined by Michael Fitzpatrick, Performance Marketing Manager at Les Mills, to chat all things performance on TikTok.
Now, I know you're all keen to hear all the exciting ways how you can activate on TikTok and get amazing results, but first I've got a couple of pieces of housekeeping for you. Bathrooms are located to the very end of this hallway and to the right. Also, there will be delicious food and snacks afterwards, so where we just met before, go back out there after. There'll be more food and drinks circulating for us all. And finally, if you can scan this QR code and you'll have access to Slido, where we would love you to submit questions for our panel who will be coming up later, and also fill in a survey. Now, some of you have gone and nabbed the swag before I could highlight it, but if you can, please make sure to fill in a survey before you leave. I will chase you down. I see you. That would be awesome. And if you have missed out on swag, don't worry, we'll get more to you over the next coming weeks. So let us now first welcome our very first speaker, the amazing Jules, to the stage.
Hi everyone. So my name is Jules. I'm a product marketing manager here at TikTok, and I am really excited to be here. This is actually my first time in New Zealand. As a French, I have to admit that you guys have a really, really good croissant. So I guess what I'm saying is that I'll probably be back. All right. So let's get into it. So when people think about TikTok, they think about a lot of different things, depending on which side of TikTok you're in. I wish I could tell you that I'm on the Clean Talk or on the Book Talk side of the app, but reality is my For You page is just videos of dermatologists reviewing people getting their pimple and blackhead popped. I know how it sounds, but just bear with me and watch those videos. You're gonna see before judging me, you're gonna see that it's actually strangely satisfying. Anyway, performance is huge on TikTok. Not a lot of people know that. The hashtag TikTok made me buy it now has over 50 billion views. So what we really hope is that after today, you'll perceive TikTok not just as a platform where you can see pimple popping videos, but also as a platform where performance thrive. With TikTok, the way brands and users interact has forever changed. We see brands use an authentic voice when they address their audience on the platform. What hasn't changed, though, is brands' expectation when it comes to performance marketing. It's still about delivering a valuable message to your audience that will spark action. And that's where TikTok can help, by connecting brands with users on the platform. Because after all, we're built different. And yes, we are built for entertainment. So TikTok is the world's favorite community entertainment platform. It is a place where we can see trends come to life, where we can see meaningful content, well, depending on which side of TikTok you're in, obviously, meaningful content getting watched, rewatched, and shared. Well, and if you don't trust me, we've got the data right here to back it up. So on an average, TikTok users are 1.4 times more likely to discover new brands and products than on other platforms. TikTok users are also 1.5 times more likely to immediately buy something after discovering it on the platform. And finally, users are 1.4 times more likely to talk about brands and products with their family and friends. And all of this fits nicely into what we call the consumer journey infinity loop, where we see users discover brands and products, then convert, then later on share the feedback with the TikTok community, which will then spark discovery among new users. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. So now, the question is, how can you, as an advertiser, capture on these moments? Well, the best way to get a direct response from consumers is to reach out to the right person with the right message, right? But in order to do that, you need signals, aka data. And that data can come from a lot of different sources. So it could be data from your app or your website. It could be data from aggregated events on our platform. It could also be data from on-site users' behavior, like interaction with organic or sponsored posts. And all of these data will power your performance campaign on TikTok. Because you can't really build for performance without thinking measurement first. So to help you to make the most of this data, we've worked hard on developing the right products for you. And yes, this is absolutely true. We haven't been around for that long, actually, in New Zealand. But we've been working hard on developing quite a few products for performance advertiser. You're welcome. So if you tried TikTok in the past but haven't for a while, well, now is the time to give it another go. Let's have a closer look at performance on TikTok now. So a lot of people get headaches just thinking about performance marketing, right? That's the reason why we try to keep it as simple as possible. There are 5 main elements to consider when running performance on TikTok. And we call it the A, B, C, D of performance. Let's start with A first. A stands for audience. So you need to find, build, and nurture an audience of potential customers on the platform. Then B. B stands for bidding. And bidding is all the different automations and machine learning techniques that allows you to get more of what you want from your ads. Now C. C stands for creative. I think we all know how important creative is, right? So you need to build assets that will drive actions. Now D. D stands for diversify. And believe it or not, but investing in branding can really help with boosting your performance campaigns. Now S. S is probably the most crucial element of performance, and S stands for signals. Once again, it's really important to think about measurement first whenever you build for performance on the platform. And you've probably guessed it by now, that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, signals. So what's behind signals on TikTok? Well, what if I told you it all starts with a tiny piece of code? That's what we call the TikTok pixel. And it might be tiny, but it's instrumental in driving successful campaigns on the platform. This tiny piece of code is going to allow you to capture all the different actions that users take on your website. Talking about actions, we do recommend that you track minimum 3 events, especially for retail and e-commerce clients. So for instance, view content, add to cart, and complete payment. And if you're interested in tracking return on ad spend, you can also use a parameter that will allow you to track revenue. And finally, don't forget to switch on advanced matching. It's going to allow you to capture even more signals. So after those 3 simple steps implemented, you should be able to measure return on investment, where you can move your budgets where you see the best performance, unlock all our automated solutions, including optimization, targeting, as well as creative optimization, and even more. And you can also optimize your budget towards the action that matters the most for you. So once you've got your pixel, events, and advanced matching, well, now you can start customize your attribution windows in Attribution Manager. So it sits on TikTok Ads Manager, and it's available to all accounts using the TikTok pixel. Our look back windows by default are 7 days click and one-day view. Often we see users on the platform watch an ad without clicking, then later on take actions. Well, that's the reason why view through attribution is essential in giving you the best picture of how TikTok advertising works. Having said that, one call out on view through attribution. So given TikTok is a full screen, immersive video platform with extremely engaged users, the advertisers that only use click-through attribution really do underestimate the power of TikTok advertising. So it's really important that you think beyond traditional metrics and adapt your strategy to best capture how users engage on TikTok. Once again, we see a lot of users watching an ad without clicking, later on take action. So you want to make sure you're going to be capturing those. So to recap, if you follow all these recommendations, aka implement your pixel, track events along the funnel, switch on advanced matching, as well as optimize your campaigns towards conversion versus click, well, YouTube should be able to see your CPA cut in half. So like I mentioned at the beginning, I really hope that after today, you'll be looking at TikTok differently and that you'll start planning for performance on the platform. Because who wouldn't like to cut their costs in half? It's pretty good. Thank you so much. That's pretty much it for me. Thank you so much for listening to me. Hopefully you understood at least half of what I just said with my strong French accent. Lucky you guys. Our next speaker, Steph, also has an accent. Though I'm sure she's going to do an amazing job to run you through the A, B, C, and D of performance marketing on TikTok. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I hope that you feel as good about my Brazilian accent as a Kiwi accent, or at least better than an Australian accent. So, but before we start, I would like to welcome everyone. I'm really looking forward to our time together. I'll be sharing some interesting insights we have consolidated from our performance campaigns at TikTok. Before we start, do you remember your first TikTok made me buy it purchase? I remember mine vividly. It was the Clinique's Black Honey lipstick. And from then to now, I confess I have purchased many items using TikTok as my recommendation platform. My TikTok shopping has evolved so much that my latest purchase came straight from the search results on the platform. I was searching for best flat irons, and I got a sponsored result for Cloud9 flat iron. And that's impressive. It's impressive how much we have evolved so far. And this is one of the reasons I am passionate about performance marketing. Through automation and TikTok solutions, brands can interact seamlessly with their audiences and be there when, where, and how the customers choose to purchase. So with that in mind, and now that Jules have covered the signal part and the basics of the ABCDs, let's look at the ABCD of performance marketing. We are going to cover audience and how you can actually find your market. Bidding to see the options to help you scale and optimize your campaigns. And then creatives and the whole universe that entitles. And of course, new strategies to help you improve performance results over time, like adding a brand campaign to your funnel. TikTok's audience data management platform enables brands to build flexible and scalable targeting capabilities to re-engage existing customers and attract new ones. So bring your own data, your cart abandoners, your past purchasers, your high-value customers. Custom audiences are the secret sauce behind top-performing campaigns at TikTok. Next, expand with lookalike audiences. TikTok's tools and automations use them to find new and relevant engaged audiences to boost conversions for your brand. So, what audience should you consider for a first campaign at TikTok? We recommend kicking off with 2 to 3 audiences in your performance campaign. First and foremost, go broad. This is a simple and straightforward way to explore new audiences at the platform and prospect new customers to your brands while giving you a better understanding of the power and effectiveness of your creatives. Broad audiences deliver 29% lower CPA, cost per action, and 15% higher conversion rates than other targeting strategies. Second, explore first-party audience lists. Using your customer data to build retargeting and lookalike audiences help boost activity and improve results for your brand. In the long run, lookalike audiences delivered up to 40% higher return on ad spend than other targeting strategies for some of our clients. We also observed superior and similar results with retargeting audiences. And lastly, don't forget to test. Exploring and building new audiences can bring some interesting results to your business. So go and try some custom audiences combining interest and lookalike, for instance. Next up is our bidding and budget solutions. So the key question that we have here is, how should you start optimizing your campaigns? Going back to Jul's session, it's all about signal density. So when we think about the traditional conversion funnel, we need to make sure we are targeting the right event to drive optimal results for your brand. With the pixel down, we can analyze your signal per stage of the funnel and then recommend the ideal setup for your business objectives by understanding what's your signal density on each of those stages. For instance, most of the campaigns I've been working on have optimized towards add to cart and then moved down the funnel as signal and conversions increased. Once we have defined this event and we are targeting correctly, use TikTok's automation solutions to bid and allocate budgets. With a few inputs of bid, budget, and the optimization goal, our algorithm predicts user outcomes to deliver the right creative to the right user to drive the desired action. Automation across targeting, delivery, and creative takes away the need for manual optimization, while giving the algorithm the highest flexibility to find users who are more likely to interact with your ads. A few examples of this are listed here. Lowest cost bidding helps maximize conversions while delivering efficient costs and full spending. We observed 35% higher conversions for web campaigns when using this tactic. Creative optimization helps you with the heavy lifting of creating multiple assets for the platform. Automated creative optimization delivered 85% lower cost per actions and 155% higher conversion rates than campaigns without that. And we just launched the Smart Creative to help you not only build your creatives, but refresh them and avoid ad fatigue. And video shopping ads. This product actually amplifies discovery, purchase, and conversions with smarter intent-based targeting and advanced creative features. And we have seen that across a few case studies already for video shopping ads, like American Eagle. The American brand wanted to increase their return on ad spend in the platform. Through an API integration, they promoted their summer collection through video shopping ads, selecting a variety of products from their website catalog to promote on TikTok. They tested dynamic format, which is a new creative automation tool to serve relevant videos to users based on their intent levels, and also leveraged dynamic destination to identify the ideal landing page for their ads. And this paid off. They saw a 40% increase in ROAS, in return on ad spend, and a 32% reduction on their cost per action compared to conversion objective campaigns. Their cost per action results were actually 17% more efficient than their historical account average. Our next tip is creatives. The main tip here is build for TikTok. We recommend 3 to 5 ad creatives per ad group and refresh that every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4, depending on your brand. This is a standard approach we take to launch campaigns and avoid ad fatigue. But it can vary from business to business, of course, so we recommend you to test heavily so you can understand what works for your product and your market. Using creators can also enhance performance. We saw 14% uplift in conversion rates when using creators to do a product demonstration or talk about an ongoing promotion. And we also observed outstanding results when combining product, price, and promotion. This in the same creative. This actually helped boost performance for those advertisers. To help you build for TikTok, here are a few ideas from some of the top creatives we've seen in previous campaigns. First and foremost, go native. Fun and engaging creatives that feel native to the platform are one of the best ways to capture your audience's attention and drive action to your website. This dog video, beyond being too cute, also feels very native to the platform. Product demonstration videos have also proven very effective. You can either upload your how-to video, use a trend like 6 reasons why people should use your product or service, or use a green screen with a creator talking about the product. And add brand cues. They help build memorability and drive conversions over time, especially when considering view-through attribution that Jules mentioned before. So how to start? There are a few different approaches you can take here for starting a performance campaign, a performance journey at TikTok. For some brands, campaign performance is scaled fast, and shorter campaigns were the way to go. But for other brands, it was the experimentation journey that led to learnings and then led to results. Thinking about this last one, we launched the 90-day performance onboarding plan. That helps you drive your performance business goals, and I have worked throughout across lots of brands throughout 2022 and 2023, onboarding them on performance. And they've used this plan to kickstart their performance journey at TikTok. The plan is divided in stability, structure, and scale phases. On the stability phase, the first 30 days, we want to make sure you have structured your campaigns correctly and your campaigns are hitting auction stability, getting those 50 conversions per ad group per week. Over the next phase, the structure phase, we really want to encourage you to start audience and creative tests if you haven't done already so in the first phase. And on the last phase, the scale phase, the idea is to scale audience and creative tests and test additional items, like the impact of adding a brand campaign on your performance results. And we have observed great results from the 90-day performance onboarding plan already. Catch, which is one of the largest online e-commerces in Australia, wanted to test lower funnel activity at TikTok by understanding how TikTok's audiences and creatives could boost their performance activity for them. They partnered with TikTok to launch the 90-day test and learn program using a variety of ad formats like Spark ads with creatives produced in-house. They swapped the worst performers to drive improved performance over time. Their best performing creative, which is this video, came from a member of their team who filmed her dog in the office eating doggy peanut butter, which they sell on Catch. This just goes to show that you don't need big creative budgets to actually have high-performing content on TikTok. They saw amazing results with the 90-day performance onboarding plan. They saw 2.4 times higher return on ad spend, or growth, in the last 30 days of their web campaign compared to the previous 60 days. And they also saw a 235% higher conversion rate and a substantial reduction in cost per action, 67%. And we've seen these results time and again. We've seen them so much that we consolidated everything on a meta-analysis that we run across all advertisers that had run web performance campaigns, the performance onboarding plan. For web campaigns, longer performance campaigns can generate improved results after the 60-day mark. That's what we've seen. And we observed across all of those 4 times higher complete payment conversion rates and a 3 times higher add-to-cart conversion rates across clients. These were clients optimizing towards add-to-cart conversions that adopt the 90-day performance onboarding plan. Lastly but not least, go full funnel. Adding a brand campaign to your funnel can drive improved efficiency and effectiveness for your conversion campaigns. We have seen this across clients that adopted a brand campaign, and we have now launched a specific test to help you measure your conversion lift impact on your performance campaigns coming from your brand activation. Now, going back to the ABCs of TikTok's performance campaigns, we summarize them on the next slide to help you kickstart your performance journey at TikTok. Starting with audience. Audience is key to drive engagement and action to your website, so don't forget to keep the audiences fresh and entertaining. And sorry, these are creatives. Start with broad and then use your first-party audience list to improve campaign results on the long run. Bidding. TikTok's automation solutions helps drive higher value at lower cost to your campaigns. Once we observe volume of conversions there, we can upscale with video shopping ads. Creatives, they are key to drive engagement and action to your website, so don't forget to keep them fresh and entertaining. Please refresh them every 2 to 4 weeks and keep a variety of ads, ad creatives there. And finally, build engagement with an always-on presence in the platform and scale it with a full funnel approach to attract and interact with new audiences. And the base of everything is, of course, signal, as Jules mentioned. So consider your signal infrastructure. Getting that right helps ensure we are tracking the desired events and have enough signal density to boost activity. Now, before we move on to our panel, I have very exciting news for New Zealand. We are very happy to announce that we are launching an exclusive incentive program for clients to onboard on performance marketing at TikTok. This was thought specifically for you, our New Zealand clients. We are offering 5,000 New Zealand dollars per client for performance campaigns. All you have to do is set up a 3-month performance campaign, follow TikTok's best practices and recommendations, and keep investments steady for that 3-month period. Don't worry, you can update creatives and audiences as we go. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Cool. Thanks so much, Jules and Stefania. Don't go too far away because we are going to have you back on stage for the panel in just a moment. As part of this panel, just a quick reminder that there is a chance for the panellists to answer your questions out there in the audience just by going to Slido with this QR code up here. And also, please remember to have a crack at the feedback survey afterwards. So it's now time to introduce you to our panellists, led by our moderator, who many of you probably know, Lloyd Aiken, client partner from TikTok New Zealand. Over to you, Lloyd.
Hello. Testing. Hello. Hello. Testing. Okay, there we go. Kia ora. Kia ora ana. Ma'alolele. Warm greetings. Talofa lava. Alo'o ingoa. I'm Lloyd Aiken. I'm one of the client partners here at TikTok Aotearoa, and I have the privilege and very excited to introduce our talented, amazing panelists. So, could we please have a round of applause and a warm welcome for our market-leading panelists. Firstly, we have Michael Fitzpatrick, the Les Mills Performance Marketing Manager, International. Then we have Stefania Costa, who we just heard from. Come on, Stefania. And then finally, we have Jules Martin, who you just heard from as well. So, Product Marketing Manager. All right. Firstly, thank you for the couple hundred people in attendance and the few hundred on the live stream. We really, really appreciate your time. Should we get started, Tim? Sure.
Let's do it.
Many marketers have this preconception that you have to rip up the playbook when it comes to TikTok. Question for you, Michael. How have you found adopting your traditional performance approach to the TikTok platform?
Yeah, awesome question, Lloyd. As we've heard today, it's authentic, creative content that thrives on the TikTok entertainment platform. However, what we've seen at Les Mills, selling our at-home fitness app Les Mills Plus, is that some of the best practice and channel learnings that we see across other channels that we advertise on apply to our activity on TikTok as well. So for example, the classic kind of direct response type best practices like having a strong call to action, having supers that highlight the messaging in your ad creative, also having voiceover that reiterates the messaging, really help to drive strong performance. So a lot of the time what we do is repurpose content that already exists or has been created for other channels and use lightweight ways to make sure that it looks native and is fit for purpose on TikTok.
Nice. And I think we prepared something earlier.
Yeah, there's a couple of examples that we're excited to share. This one here was actually filmed and created for our organic TikTok channel. And we were leaning into the POV trend on TikTok. So our team actually took this piece of creative, slapped on a call to action, and then ran it as a performance ad, and it performed really well for us. So no kind of additional creative requirements there. It was something that already existed. The second one here was, I'm a bit embarrassed to admit, but it was created for our Meta story ad placements, but we decided to test it on TikTok, and it ended up being our strongest performing ad. So there's lots of creative and light touch ways that you can repurpose existing creative and get started with testing experimental channels like TikTok.
Awesome. It's good to hear we performed well, or outperformed. This is a question for you, Steph. So we saw some of the creative elements that could boost conversions, you know, when we talk about brand cues, promotions, price, product demonstration. I suppose, are there any other elements that should be present when we're going on the TikTok platform?
Great question, Lloyd. Indeed we do. We have a few other elements, and I think a key one is having a call to action in your creatives. Call to action, and then ideally you can activate on all those other brand cues, promotion, price, product demonstration. You can activate on those through voice overs or having a caption in your video. Again, what we see across all clients is actually that combining those creative elements is actually what is driving the highest lift in conversion rates. So having 5 or more brand cues, having price, having a promotion, having a product demonstration in the same creative, that's what actually driving the highest lift there. So that would be my biggest piece of recommendation there.
I suppose that's one of the beauties of TikTok, the full immersion, you know, sound on, which is amazing.
Exactly.
Just a follow-up question. Are there any other aspects of creative optimization brands should have in mind?
Yeah, I believe that creative optimization passes through 2 main components. One is creativity, and the other one is creative effectiveness. Now, creativity, I'm not going to speak to you about that because I'm the measurement person, but creative effectiveness passes through all those elements that I mentioned. And one key thing for creative effectiveness is testing. So I would recommend that once we have enough signal density in the account, that we have test performance and have onboarded a 90-day performance plan, we should start testing those elements to see what works for your brand, for your product, and for your market. So that would be my biggest piece of recommendation.
Thank you. Speaking of creative best practice, a question for you, Jules. Given the shift of the performance landscape towards contextual ads, what is your team and the TikTok product team doing for this?
Sure. So funny you ask, we actually have some products that aims to put the right content in front of the right user. So for instance, for retail and e-com advertisers, we've got what Steph mentioned during the presentation, a product called Video Shopping Ads. So with this product, there's this specific smart functionality called dynamic format. And what it does is that it aims to show different creative to users based on the purchase intent that they have. So to give you an example, for instance, users for which we have low intent, well, we're going to show them a generic video showing a lot of different products so they can discover what the products are. For users that have high intent, what we're going to do is that we're going to show them a templated video, what we call a catalog video, that is going to show them the specific product that they've been engaging with previously. So that's for e-com and retail clients. Otherwise, for the product roadmap in 2023, we're going to see a lot of new products popping up for creative, and it's all going to be around automation. Automation is going to be big.
Very exciting, very exciting. So Michael, We know that creativity and the TikTok community are critical to a brand's performance. How do you approach working with creators? Can you share any tips or tricks for advertisers or marketers alike that want to get onto the platform with them?
Yep. Creators have played a really important role in our journey on TikTok. We've tested creators via the TikTok Creator Marketplace, but also via the managed solution in TikTok Creator Solutions. And it's not only allowed us to reach incremental audiences that our ads might not have been served to otherwise, we've been able to allow creators to tell our brand story in their own authentic tone of voice. So a kind of win-win there. What we actually saw was that the top performing creator ads that worked for us were when we took the pieces of content developed by the creators and then cut them down into almost like direct response style ads, like a bit shorter, 10 seconds with branded cues throughout, strong call to actions. That was what actually drove the greatest performance for us rather than the original pieces. Another area which I want to kind of share that was a learning for us is that the importance of writing a really, really strong brief when working with creators. I think as marketers, you know, we know our brand guidelines inside and out, but our creators don't necessarily know them as well as we do. So make sure that in your brief, you're outlining and being as clear and concise as possible around what the mandatories are for your brand. I guess an example that we experienced is one of our creators ended up doing star jumps in a yoga-based workout. Like what the heck? So, you know, try and capture anything that's important in the brief when you initiate the process.
It's amazing efficiencies if you can take that content and use it for different parts of the funnel to kind of where what Stefania was saying. But I think we've got a couple of examples to play.
So this example here is our top performing creator content. Her name's Desi. I'll let you guess why she was the top performer, but we've run it for about 6 months, which is awesome. And this one, as you can see, has been cut down to quite a succinct length and has the call to action in the native TikTok fonts. The next one here is a creator called Ian. This was quite different for us because Ian isn't generally who you'd imagine as part of our target audience, but we were quite excited to work with him because he is, you know, he has a different audience that we can tap into. Also, his angle tends to be more comedy style, so that was really exciting to give him free rein to come back with something that was a little bit different for us.
Amazing. So we're just going to send a question to you, Steph. You mentioned building a funnel strategy to boost performance in the presentation earlier. Are those short or long-term benefits?
Well, we have seen time and again like short-term benefits from having a brand campaign added to your funnel in the forms of higher conversions or higher conversion rates for performance campaigns. But the way we see it is basically the brand campaign is a way for you to generate and actually expand your demand while the performance campaign is going to capitalize on it. So ideally, the importance is for you to drive a brand campaign from time to time to boost that performance campaign and be able to change the levels that you see in ROAS or return on ad spend. So whenever you're running a performance campaign and it has kind of like already leveled on a certain return on ad spend, you can do those bursts of brand campaigns to kind of change your curve and be able to, give some uplifts to your curve. So ideally, that's how you can do it.
Thanks for sharing these practices. Can you chat a little bit more about the testing solution TikTok has for measuring this?
Yeah, we have just launched a test to actually measure that impact. So basically, through a brand lift study that we put on top of your brand campaign, we can measure the impact of your conversions campaign through a conversion lift, basically comparison between the exposed and control groups of that brand lift study.
Cool. And we'd just love to touch on attribution as well.
Yeah.
We know some clients use the last click attribution that leads to inaccurate number of conversions are recorded for TikTok. Is there any innovative ways that you can share, please?
Yes, we definitely have conversion lift studies that we have started to run since last year with the platform, both for web and app campaigns. So conversion lift studies is basically a way for you to, following an expose and control methodology, to check what is the uplift in conversions that you're seeing from your performance campaigns.
Yeah.
And also we have post-purchase survey, which is a project that we're just launching to kind of measure the first touch attribution to where the users have seen that product first. We believe that TikTok is a strong platform to drive that first touch attribution, and post-purchase survey is a way that we are studying that. Ideally, on the long term, we want to be able to optimize towards post-purchase surveys.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, conversion lift studies are so important, especially in tough times, you know, where ROI is constantly challenged. So thank you for sharing that. And just looking at you, Michael, what about you from your perspective as a performance marketer?
Yeah, I think that measurement, attribution, and incrementality is like the age-old problem for digital marketers that we all kind of experience on a day-to-day basis. Our journey at Les Mills has been a little bit unique in the sense that we started advertising with performance marketing only, and were able to ride some of the tailwinds that were, creating an increase in demand for at-home fitness during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, that has, now that the world started to normalise, those headwinds, have softened. So we're not able to just run performance campaigns and harvest existing and market demand. We have to start working and investing further up the funnel to create future demand for our products. So that's what we've started doing. We've started testing more brand awareness media tactics as part of our media mix, and we're not used to not being able to measure media mix to like CPA. So we engaged a third party called Analytic Partners. They're a specialist measurement agency. They've helped us build a media mix model to capture the long tail impacts from our brand awareness marketing. So really interesting, as part of that MMM that they developed, we saw that brand marketing drove a 75% higher ROI than performance marketing, and we also saw that the incremental sign-ups driven from our TikTok activity were 14 times higher than what was reported in the ad platform. So those insights have enabled us to kind of shift budget between channels and between tactics to help drive the strongest ROI for the business. I understand that MMMs can be quite cost prohibitive, but would really encourage advertisers or marketers to consider using other techniques or tactics to capture the full impact of your campaigns. So examples might be promo codes or post-purchase surveys that Steph mentioned, or if you can, an MMM, to really know what's driving what and shift your marketing dollars around accordingly.
Thanks, Michael. I heard 14 times. 14 times, thank you. But also it is inspiring to see the success of Les Mills International and the pivot that you've kind of made in this journey. So we're just going to throw to some questions in the audience. So we'll start with you, Michael. What's on your For You page?
Oh, what a setup.
Spicy.
I've been instructed to say Sophia Richie's wedding is on my... but yeah, lots of travel. TikTok seems to know where I want to go before I actually know, so lots of travel. Apparently I'm going to the Amalfi Coast this year. So.
Aperol spritzes around. Yeah. Steph?
Just a stand-up comedy, I try to just decompress from work when I'm using the platform.
I like it. And how about you, Jules?
Outside of pimple popping videos, no, like recently I've got a lot of Nicki Minaj content. Really good. I recommend as well.
Thank you. I like it. Do you see the way that you use TikTok now change in the future, Michael?
I do think so. So when we started advertising on TikTok, I actually wasn't a TikTok user, but what I've noticed is a trend that people in my peer set, who are the more kind of millennial type age group, they're jumping on more and more into TikTok, and there's some people who are kind of holding out, but eventually they kind of give in.
We'll get them all.
Yeah. So I definitely see that there's the audience on TikTok is growing and will continue to grow. Another area that we're quite interested in is the increase in search behavior on TikTok. So we know that TikTok's becoming one of the largest and fastest growing search platforms out there. So quite interested to see how people might take a more like active discovery type behavior on TikTok and how advertisers can capitalize on that. Yeah.
Nice. That search piece is amazing. Steve?
Yeah, I think from my end, I think search results in the platform and the search whole environment has been growing a lot, and that's the next, I think, huge thing on platform, migrating from Google to to TikTok. I think that's a big piece, and search ads is definitely going to be a huge part of that.
And I mean, it's so important. Like, if you do want to get a recommendation or understand about a product in the search, there's so much kind of information and short form video for you to make a decision. And it's not someone trying to sell at you. It's it's a conversation in a community, which makes it really interesting, that search piece. Sorry, Jules.
No, good. Well, I want to say search ads as well. But no, I think it's a great product. So we just launched it quite recently in February. And this product is just gonna keep on getting better. At this stage, it's just a toggle on Ads Manager at the ad group level, but we really gonna be focusing on this product and make some announcement and add on a lot of features. So watch this space.
Okey-dokey. And finally, to wrap up, what is the one piece of advice you have for the audience if they're considering running performance campaigns on TikTok? Michael, let's start with you, mate.
I probably. My key piece of advice would be to really lean into members of your team who are channel experts and kind of try to give them as much autonomy to advise on what's fit for platform, what's happening in TikTok, and kind of give them free rein to test, learn, and optimize. In our team, Maddie, who's in the audience today, she's kind of led the charge, and she's, we wouldn't have been able to achieve to the level that we have without her. And there's other brands out there that are following a similar approach. Examples like Duolingo or Ryanair. It just looks like they've just got all their interns just going wild, like on their TikTok account. So I would encourage marketers to kind of lean in and just see what happens.
Yeah. So that's something what we're seeing too. Even speaking to brands, it might be someone in the marketing team or an intern, and they're like, "All right, give it a go." And so it's a learning kind of process. So I'll just pass over to you, please, Jules.
Sure. So I want to say I actually have two pieces of advice. I want to say the first one is to really get the basics right. I've probably said it 1,000 times by now, but really make sure you're signal proof, because signal is just so important on the platform when it comes to performance. So once again, pixel, events, and advanced matching. I couldn't recommend it even more. Then I guess the second piece of advice is not to rush. So really take your time, go step by step. We now have quite a few products for performance on the platform. So what I want to say is that if you're just starting on the platform, what I would recommend is to use a product that is quite easy and simple to use, like for instance, Smart Performance Campaign. So it's a product that allows you to really easily set up your first campaign while still driving really strong performance. So definitely this kind of product to start with. And then once you've developed and build up that signal density, you can start using a bit more advanced product, for instance, VBO, so value-based optimization, which is a great product to get complete payments or purchase, as well as purchase value. So yeah, that would probably be my two advice.
Thank you, Jules. And Stefania?
I think my greatest piece of advice is to test everything that we said here before. I think to understand what works for your brand, for your product or service, and for your market, you really need, in a new platform, you really need to put your budgets there, and you really need to understand what works for you. So test everything. Like for creative effectiveness in audiences, we have split tests. For full funnel, we have this brand new test that we just launched 2 weeks ago. And for our 90-day performance onboarding, we have the amazing ad credits incentives for New Zealand specific. So we're very excited about that.
get your ad credits. Well, that's all we have time for today. Could you please give a round of applause for our amazing panelists, Michael, Stefania, and Jules. So again, we'd just like to thank you. We're very grateful that you joined us here virtually and in real life. We're excited to partner with you on your TikTok journey. For a quick summary of the content that was shown today, scan the QR code, which is over there. And for the ones in the room, please hang around. We've got a bit of networking and a couple of drinks and maybe some swag. Thank you very much. Malo Fauli.